Let's press on. Types. Now I've got to go into a little bit of semiotics into this video. You've never thought about why the word type or types, T-Y-P-E-S, why that word is significant. And I'll tell you why. Because there's only a certain amount of them, but they offer variety, and variety or diversity or freedom of choice is a human need and a human right. So to have options, to be able to choose, make decisions is part of life. To create an environmental context in which that person is cut off from that right and freedom is going against human rights and freedoms. So why would education do that? And historically, what has it done, and how is it changing? Now, the inception of education itself isn't necessarily a positive story, because it is incepted, of course, in the Western philosophy. And the Western philosophy is one that cut itself off from Eastern understandings a long time ago, and it's built upon absolutism applied to partial elements. And you could think about what was the role of education and what was its purpose and original ideals, and how did it slip from that into corporal punishment and military programming, religious indoctrination, or even worse. Types refer to, at the very least, dichotomies, at the very most, extremely complex, chaotic theories. But as I said, the governing principle behind them is that they're limited to a certain, they're not infinite, and they're bound to sort of ontological reality. But semiotically, when we look at types, we look at, I think there's two important models to help you frame this very diverse, nuanced word. And that is one of the hierarchy of duality, in which you should only really be focused and surrender to the ultimate, which is masculine and feminine, the ultimate duality. So the type of the masculine and the type of the feminine. You could talk about the divine masculine and divine feminine. You could talk about feminine types of compassion versus masculine types of compassion as applied to the self and others. But that's the ultimate type. It's the masculine and the feminine. Male and female referring to gender, but anything else referring to sex, but masculine and feminine. And then the other type is a type of way to understand different people around you and their personalities. And then the observation there is, the insight there is, there's only a certain number of them. In terms of personalities, there's only about 9 different personalities. There's X billion people on the earth, but a way to lump them or understand them is through different personality avenues which are available, and there's about 9 of them. You can look at typologies such as the Enneagram and others. I don't believe they're freely available on the internet anymore, because the internet's all changed recently, but typologies and personality tests and personality awareness is severely lacking in cultural understandings across the world, and significantly important to education. So that's what types refers to in the integral model, a framework that claims to encompass everything, so it must encompass everything, right? Including types, personality, types, duality. Types need to be understood and applied understanding as they change us and others as teachers in the education field.